vlog. Welcome back to my channel. I'm having a very chill evening, drinking my tea. I got my hair done the other day. We did like a dark purplish red and we did layers. I have my side bangs. She gave me these cute little layers on the side and she made them kind of uneven, which is so cute. Pretty awesome. This morning I went to a 7:30 a.m. bar class. It's always really hard to wake up, but it was especially hard because last night I could not sleep at all because my brain was just so wired thinking about what I was gonna say in this video. I've just been feeling inspired lately. I've been on TikTok and Pinterest and just addicted to that right now. And whenever I get in that zone, it really just motivates me to get into my content creator side. We have so many ideas and I love to talk. I'm so excited for this video. I've been thinking about making this for definitely over a year now and I just have not done it. I am so bad about being consistent with things. It's a new year, so I'm trying to get back into vlogging and blogging and being on TikTok. Making content, you guys. I'm just making content. I'm hesitant to call this a trend predictions video. I don't know, I just kind of wince a little bit when I see trend prediction videos on my feed. I think the biggest reason is because I have a lot of ideas and I'm afraid that when I watch them, they're gonna say the same thing that I've been thinking, but I haven't expressed out into the world yet. But the other thing is people get so on their high horse. I never want to like come across that way. Sometimes people really, just the way that they go about it seems so, this is the trend. These things that were trending last year are not going to be fashionable anymore. And obviously that's just really dumb. So that's why I've been honestly hesitant to make a trends video, even just on TikTok. I just literally hate when I look at the comments and people like, that is not going to be trending. I hate that. So you're saying everything from last year is like not cute anymore. Like that's not the vibe. Honestly, if you don't like things on my video, I really don't care. I just think it's fun and I really need to make the video because I hate when I think of something and then it comes true and I'm like, damn it. I don't know. Maybe that's like self-absorbed, but I think about it a lot and it just sits in my brain. So yeah, a lot of the things I'm going to talk about are at different stages. I'm not saying that like no one is already doing these things. These are just things that I like, but I feel like someone's going to like comment and mean things at me. I literally could have listed every single vibe and aesthetic from the 2010s. People have a lot of nostalgia for that time period. It's been just long enough. The trends are going so quickly. Now I feel like even less time has to pass before we bring back old decades. Whereas before, it was always 20 or 15 years behind. The gap is closing in. I've seen people referencing even like as recent as like 2015 or 2017 as their inspo. It's just kind of funny. Okay, now let's get into it. My style obsession / style predictions / things that I like and that I'm really vibing with, okay? Buttons and just like early 2010s Pinterest like DIY aesthetic. I just really love buttons. I feel like it was such a thing in the late 2000s of having just like buttons on stuff just for decoration, like especially with knitwear and stuff. I don't know, just very cute, very twee. I have been collecting buttons when I go to my favorite store called Scrap, where you can buy all secondhand like craft materials like yarn, fabric, buttons, just everything. So yeah, I've started a cute little collection and I've just been waiting for the right idea of what I want to do with it whenever I get around to making clothes. I also think that buttons go really well with knitting and crocheting. The younger generation has gone more into that. It makes sense that DIY aesthetic may come back. It was very much the time of making your iPod background ditzy floral or like changing your icons to be customized and like pink and brown. There's a lot of patterns, polka dots, floral patterns, stripes. Yeah, kind of like handwriting-esque fonts and like typewriter fonts. Also postcards, stamps. The funny thing is this aesthetic and time period was the last time that we were putting bows all over everything. One of my favorite brands, Grape, uses this aesthetic in some of their shoes. This piece by Gabe Borden with all the buttons. Katya Zelentsova is one of my favorite designers ever. I just love everything she makes. But yeah, I don't know if this one will actually be like really big or anything, but I just really like this vibe. And I think we will start seeing a lot of buttons on things, which I'll talk about later too. Twee. This one is so big, I think. For the longest time, people were really obsessed with early 2000s fashion. I'm just really obsessed with early 2010s right now. I watched a video where they were talking about Pantheress's fashion, and they described her style as true thousands. People have an idea of the 2000s that doesn't maybe align with like what people were actually wearing every day. And Pink Pantheress does wear like a more norm or version of like a cute girly in that time period. Daphne? No, baby. She's digging on my new Rilakkuma squishy. It's so cute. She's so tiny. She fits perfectly right on top of him because it's basically like a squishmallow, but it's Rilakkuma. She always likes to dig in it, but I really don't have the heart to tell her to stop. But sometimes she gets like really, really into it, and I'm worried that she's gonna like make a hole in him. Daphne, don't dig, baby. Anyways, I did like that descriptor though of calling it true thousands. Daphne, no ma'am. Oh. Daphne has her twee polka dot outfit on. That's my baby. And you're so good. Say hi to the vlog, baby. Good girl. Okay. I did like that description though of calling it true thousands to kind of look about how it's like an everyday outfit. And I feel like what we're gonna end up seeing is true 2010s. It makes a lot of sense that we would be inspired by everyday fashions of that time, because that's kind of like the first era where people started being able to share their fashion online, like girl bloggers and Tumblr and Instagram. I just think it's fun to think about it like that. Twee, I can really see it branching off of Coquette because it has a lot of those really similar girly undertones, but it's just adding like that 2010s twist to it. This resurgence of Twee is gonna be really 2020s does 2010s does 1960s. So it's funny how each decade is referencing a different decade, and now it's like times 3. Blythe is so popular right now. Having a Blythe doll is so Twee. All of those like movies, Juno, Eternal Sunshine of the Spotless Mind. One brand that I think really channels this is Ben Doctor. I feel like his stuff is super Twee, really giving 2010s realness, especially with the 60s hairstyles. I don't know where this fits in, but I just wanted to say that I really like tweed. I think tweed is gonna make a comeback. I feel like it definitely fits in with the twee vibes. Tweed. Stripes. I just think stripes are gonna be really popular. I don't know. I've been seeing them crop up in different places, and I feel like everything ties back to the 2010s. Marausk Peach, Lucilla Safety. Those two brands are using a lot of stripes, and they're also some of my favorite brands as well. Overall, I do feel like we're gonna start seeing more patterns. I feel like for a while people were really favoring solids. I might just literally be making that up. I don't even know. I feel like it hasn't been as popular for everything to be printed. Button closures, tailored button-up tops, and cardigans. I've been seeing a lot of really cool vintage designer shops that I follow where they've been styling these wool coats that are kind of like a little bit more drapey but are double-breasted and have buttons, so more of like a peacoat type of silhouette. As silly as it sounds, I think that buttons are gonna make a big resurgence. I know buttons are like just a fixture on clothing that keeps it together, but I think we're gonna start seeing a lot more buttons instead of zippers, as well as buttons just as like a decorative accent. Now this could go back and be more like a twee vibe, or I feel like it could skew more minimalist and just like utilitarian. I also wonder if like pins and brooches might come back as accents on things and like closures for things. And then button up, tighter fitting, like tailored shirts I think are gonna be popular. I really want one. A button up, more tight fitting shirt that has like little cap sleeves or whatever. London / New York City Big Apple / City Core. This one's kind of random, but I really just like this vibe. Not in a patriotic way at all, obviously. This one also wraps back into the peacoats vibe and the buttons. Also, I don't think I'm gonna include this, but I have been thinking about like sailor vibes, like sailor aesthetic. Do you remember at Forever 21, you used to be able to go and they would have different sections of the store for like different aesthetics? There would be a girly pink section, and then there would be another section that was navy blue and white stripes and like anchors, like that vibe. Think like 60s tap shorts with like little buttons, peacoat, like nautical stripes. This kind of branches on that. I was gonna include it, but I just wasn't excited about it enough. But I do feel like that type of vibe is gonna come back. I don't think it's gonna be as literal as it was in the 2010s with like literally anchor motifs. I feel like that would just be so not cute. Being in the big city, Devil Wears Prada, rock and roll, studs, whatever. I feel like this aesthetic has a lot of rock and roll iconography. I could definitely see flags, skull and crossbones, lipstick prints. Also, I heart whatever. Like, I heart New York, I heart London, I heart Paris. Just anything with that setup. Again, this harkens back to the 2010s, as I've probably said a million freaking times. And in the 2010s, they were referencing back to the 60s, mod, British invasion, the Beatles, rock and roll, and the girlies were wearing cute little mod dresses and mini skirts. The colors of this aesthetic are definitely red, blue, white, gold, brass. There's lots of buttons again, and hardware like grommets and studs. I also wonder with this one if like those little flare pins will come back. Do you guys remember flare? Like, was that on Facebook? I think it was on Facebook. And you could have like your little buttons. That's such a cute vibe. I want to bring that back. I can definitely see little buttons coming back. In fact, I think I have one that says London that my brother got me, and I kind of want to put it on something. I feel like they're so cute and fun. Some brands that I feel like are already really tapping into this vibe are D Squared, No Girl, Lucilla Safdie, The Grotesque Archive, and 1,000 More So. Also, this reminds me of that season of America's Next Top Model called British Invasion. Also, this picture of Lily Allen I feel like captures what I was trying to say with the crossover of like the sailor vibe and this vibe. Side part and side bangs. I just cut mine again. I got them about 3 months ago, and then I just got them trimmed last week. I literally love them so much. They just feel so girly and fun and cute, and it's just like nice and face framing. Just feels fresh because no one's been really messing with the side bang for a while. I wanted to get side bangs since like spring of last year. So this has been in my trend predictions. I feel like there was definitely a point in the 2010s where everyone had side bangs, every celebrity. So I'm just interested to see if a hairstyle like that will come back. I also feel like just the side part in general. Another hair trend, bump it / volume situation. Center section updo type of thing with just like the center section clip back. This was on my trend predictions from spring of last year at least. Definitely screaming the Tumblr, girl blogger, all that. Lace accents. I think 2010s, oh my god. How many times have I said 2010s in this freaking video? Like, I'm gonna start bleeping it every time I say it. Forever 21 lace applied on top of other fabric. Do you remember that? 2013 Urban Outfitters. Do you remember when lace dresses were like, they were everywhere? Of course, lace is never really like out or in because it's just never goes out of style. That's the other thing I feel like about leopard. Leopard and cheetah print never goes out of style, but I do get that like it's gonna be more prevalent. But for lace, I feel like it's all about how it's applied. I think that it's gonna be kind of like a sheer layer like on top of things, or just by itself as a sheer fabric. Also, especially lace tights. This trend is very soft grunge aesthetic, I think. Again, we have Morel's Peach, Lucille Safdie, dainty all over floral patterns. I just feel like patterns haven't been as big in the recent 5 or 10 years of fashion. A lot of stuff is just solid colors. Maybe like gingham definitely had a moment there. I might be like completely wrong about this, but I just feel like I haven't seen it a lot. I don't know. I could be wrong. But do you remember when it was the thing to wear a floral baby doll dress from like Urban Outfitters or whatever? That was the vibe. Also, going back to just a floral wallpaper papers and like Tumblr aesthetic. Like that was just everything. This one definitely makes a lot of sense, branching off of Coquette. We're already like there, so this is maybe not as much of a prediction, but I feel like it's gonna be less in like a ditzy rose floral way and more of a kind of like a retro folk kind of floral pattern, if that makes sense. I don't really know the terms, but it's gonna be giving like 80s vintage floral patterns. The new bikinis from Frankie's Bikinis, I'm so obsessed with all the patterns. They're just so cute. My favorite one is the red. I've also seen brands like Maresque Peach, and I really like this picture from Maddie Jean Waterhouse. I feel like her top kind of captures that like folk floral vibe that I'm talking about. And that is all the trend predictions that I have for today. I actually have a bunch more, but these are just my favorite ones that I'm like most excited to talk about. So yeah, let me know if you like my video, and maybe I'll make another trend predictions video, or I forgot, I'm not calling it that, style obsessions video, whatever. Yeah, I feel like it's a fun format to just like get it out onto paper, like what I've been thinking about, things that I've been like liking, but it's fun to just make little predictions honestly and just see like what happens and be able to look back on this video. Thank you so much for watching. Make sure that you like and subscribe, and I'll see you later. Bye.